Gangsters who were operating from across the border were actually involved in carrying out.
By Century Ply, Club Prime, Rahu Befikar.
Viewers, today we're not talking about leads that investigators have found in the probe into the 10/11 Delhi blast, but at a more alarming development. In Kashmir, there is a contradiction playing out. A section of Kashmir's political class, led by the Chief Minister himself, has turned the lens inward, but not on the radicalism in Kashmir, not even on the ecosystem that repeatedly normalized radicalism when it flew the flag for Islamist supremacists like the Hezbollah or ISIS, as you can see in the visuals, but instead on themselves as victims. Yes, viewers. Now top Kashmiri politicians led by the Chief Minister himself are suggesting that all Kashmiris are victims, including those who have committed these heinous acts. This is what Omar Abdullah says. When we are looked at with suspicious eyes from every side, when attempts are made to defame us for someone else's doing, when attempts are made to bring everyone into the ambit of what few people have done, then it is obvious that it becomes difficult for us to leave for outside. Today, even driving a J&K registration vehicle in Delhi is being seen as a crime. When I do not have many security personnel with me, I myself think whether I should take out my car or not, as I do not know if anyone will stop me and ask me where I was from, unquote. It's the Chief Minister of the state. Now consider what his main political opponent has said. Iltija Mufti says, and I quote, Kashmiris are trapped in a vicious cycle. One feels quite hopeless because we are in this endless loop of mindless violence, sweeping repression and suspicion, followed by resentment and alienation, unquote. Now, you heard it, viewers. Former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah says Kashmiris are being defamed for the actions of a few, that even driving a Jammu and Kashmir registered car in Delhi invites suspicion. Iltija Mufti speaks of repression and alienation and about being scapegoated. But here are the hard facts. This sudden surge of quote victimhood unquote comes after an NCMP called Indian tourism in Kashmir cultural invasion. Viewers, he has used binaries that go completely against multiculturalism and label every non-Kashmiri as a cultural invader. But here, viewers, no one said anything. Then after crowds in Srinagar waved Hezbollah flags, mourning a man who vowed to, quote, liberate Kashmir, unquote, and turn it into a caliphate. That has also happened, and you can see those pictures in the middle of your screens. I'm not making this up. Do you see anyone sort of there, viewers, saying that down with this man? We're glad that we are rid of this scourge because he was a radical that viewed the world in infidel, non-infidel sort of terms. Viewers, even before that, thousands rallied behind Burhan Wani. ISIS flags were dismissed as frustration. Who spoke up to denounce this open support of Islamist religious radicalism? No one. No one, not in my name, rally was held, distancing Kashmiris from terror evangelists. Viewers, the hard facts speak for themselves. As I said, no action was taken against this MP of Omar Abdullah's party, Aga Rahula, for saying what they call is tourism is not tourism but cultural invasion. A year before that, hundreds of protesters rallied in Srinagar mourning the death of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. I told you that he wanted to liberate Kashmir, turn it into a caliphate. In 2016, thousands attended Pak-backed Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist Burhan Wani's funeral, denoting him a son of the soil. There also, viewers, they talked about alienation, repression, and then obviously, viewers, the fact that there was a counter-reaction, a justification, viewers, of terrorism. In 2015, National Conference patron Farooq Abdullah justified waving of ISIS flags in the valley, saying the youth was simply venting their frustration. In the absence of condemnation, can Kashmiris today expect sympathy, viewers? Is this genuine fear or a political victim card to whitewash a long history of enabling radicalism? These are some fundamental questions, and I want to begin tonight with people who also are Muslims but don't quite see the world in the same light. Shazia Ilmi, let me begin with you. We have a whole raft of politicians in this country, specifically from the minority community, who are justifying this, saying that, look, I mean, you know, that every reaction will have an equal and opposite reaction. Every action will beget something or the other. How do you see this first, this narrative, as an Indian Muslim?
So first of all, I'd like to say, as an Indian Muslim woman and as an Indian citizen, that there is no justification whatsoever for whatever has happened. No grievance, no justification, no political spin can really explain this brutality. I also want to say that I think each one of us, instead of talking about what is happening to some Muslims because of an act of few, should introspect and talk about how did we get here. Have you heard any of these voices, any of them, whether it's the Iltijas of the world or Umar Abdullah's, the two political families that are the arbiter of the fate of the rest of Kashmiris, politically so to speak? Have you ever heard them speak as to why there is radicalism, why they themselves should distinguish between being Muslims and Islamists, and why there is something terribly wrong with Muslims living in India, these two particularly, where their families have born allegiance to the constitution and have served as chief ministers, their parents and grandfathers and what have you. So I think it's very serious. And instead of the whole ecosystem now talking about how Muslims are being victimized again, they must question the radicalization process. Because of course it is terrible for everybody. I mean, I feel for myself as an Indian citizen, as a Muslim, as a man, woman, whatever. So, there many Muslims also have died. But to speak only for those Muslims and say that they're in this endless loop, they must also talk about the loop they have created them for themselves. Terrorism, terror apologies thereafter, some sort of a normalization, and this endless hankering of some sort of rights as to say that they have been denied something. The injustice done in Kashmir. This complete perpetual martyrdom that goes on, and victimization, victim card that is played, and persecution complex. Now this is actually fanning the flames of this. Instead of looking at what is happening to these educated Muslim men and women, doctors, who are part of a terror module, as scary as the one. Why did we get here? What is the scary, dangerous narrative that has been doing the rounds, that has led to this? And I really want to call them out right now and say, all of us, and particularly the Muslims, who have any role to play in public life, must unequivocally condemn what's happened and question them and talk about them and question the elements that have led to this, the whole business of radicalization, the whole Islamization process of Muslims that is going on, and the perpetual we have been wronged syndrome. So I think in my mind that is far more important than again trying to get some kind of sympathy. Let's see हम मुसलमानों के साथ क्या हो रहा है. अरे भाई क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोग, क्या कह रहे हैं, अब तक आपने क्यों नहीं बोला, क्यों नहीं आप बाहर निकल के आए. Something sad happens in our country, and you know what, you have I feel so ashamed to say this, that we have crazies and loonies out there who talk about Sar Tan se juda and they step out. Don't you think there should have been masses out? Muslims out there saying that yes, not in our name. This is not Islam. This is not a religion that will be hijacked by some loony fringe. But there are dalwais of the world who says this is because of the injustice being done. So this injustice story, as long as Rahul, you keep playing out these the playback versions of the we have been wrong, what has happened in Kashmir, all of that, this will continue. So they have an equal role to play, and they are very much a cause of the matter.
Okay.
They are the cogs in this wheel of radicalization, and that is scary. And I think we should talk about that instead of what they are saying. Because they're getting away by not outing the real
let me ask the
people
PDP
who are behind this.
Mr.
They're not
Mir,
being dishonest.
Okay,
They want to have the best of both the worlds.
Okay, Mr. Mir, let's not allow sentiments to prevail. Let's allow for clear thinking to prevail. Look, no one here is wanting to
No, this is clear thinking. I have done Rahul, I've done a lot of thinking on this subject. I have done a whole lot of thinking on this subject since I've been a young person. I grew up in Kanpur, Chamanganj. My father was a Maulana, Deobandi Maulana. Ilmi is a khitab given by. So I am as Muslim as it gets, and I've lived there. And I know what the conversation is about. The conversations in Muslim households, which only talk about political identity and religious identity, must change. We are just not political beings or religious beings. We are cultural beings, intellectual beings. We are so many more things, but it's only about politics and religion. In every Muslim household, you'll only find that conversation.
Well, let me bring
it is always about left or right. And so this is something that somebody from the community must say, and I want to say that openly, because we've all been there, and people will not be honest, Rahul, with you.
Okay, so let me ask, maybe things are changing.
And you feel like we are a traitor of a kind to say.
Okay, so
but the conversations in our lives with each other must change, and our discourse, political
So let me ask Mr. Junaidi. I believe that he is not from Kashmir, he's a mainland Muslim. That's what we're being told. So let me ask him. Now, you heard some Kashmiri politicians, Mr. Junaidi, say that don't label us. But you don't ask, how is it that people feel the compulsion, not that I agree with them, but to label a certain community? Here, people are suspicious because no one in the Kashmir Valley, for instance, or even in the streets of Kanpur, where Shazia Ilmi grew up, or anywhere else, hit the street against Umar Nabi. There were no protests to say, sorry, this is not in our name. I'll tell you one thing, sir, that when Hindus, for example, that horrible Assamese BJP leader who put out that ghastly photograph, we all questioned. Hindus, people like me, we all said, what nonsense is this? When another individual from the BJP got up and abused a member of parliament in the Lok Sabha, I called for action against that particular individual. But I want to ask you, sir, where is the Muslim, Bharatiya Indian Muslim? Why isn't he coming out and saying that when people take out rallies for Nasrallah or for Sinwar, the Hamas chief, when he was killed, they are not being honest to themselves, to their faith, or to humanity? I don't see that, sir. Balki, what I see, on the contrary, what I see is rationalization. No, Israel is this, Israel is that. You conveniently forget the Hamas. The Hamas says that we want to remove all Jews between the river and the sea, so on and so forth. So I want to ask you, sir, is there a problem? Is there always a defense of something that perhaps you yourselves are scared of? I don't know. Are you scared of Islamism that you can't speak up? Do you fear the consequences? What is happening?
I was being very quiet when Shazia Ilmi was speaking, and I carefully heard your question. I want you both to listen to me very carefully, and I want some time uninterrupted. Now, the very issue is of national security being under threat. The question is, several years, these handful fellows who don't have the correct teachings of Islam, they don't understand what is Islam. Islam clearly says suicide is not permitted. It is prohibited act in Islam. Islam says if you are killing a human, it is similar to killing of whole humanity. These are the preachings of Islam. Islam is a religion of peace. These fellows, these radicals don't understand this point. Being educated, being from the rich families, being from the sound background, these fellows go to Sadak Chhap mullahs, the 5th fail, 10th fail mullahs and get the teachings of Islam, which is wrong. Now, just because of these handful of fellows, entire community is being questioned, entire Kashmir is being questioned. I think this is wrong. Why? Because we have seen several years these handful of people are handful. There is no increase in this handful people, but their attacks, their terrorist activities are continuously growing. Let us find the root cause. Why it is being done? What is the main reason why these fellows, these bastards, I must say, sorry for using this language, are getting risen up? Who are they? Who are the people who are feeding them the wrong information and they are teaching the wrong Islam? And the question is on the community. Why the community is not on the ground? Let me ask you very clearly to every panelist on the show. Assume that tomorrow or today, by midnight, several thousands, lakhs of people, Muslim communities on the streets. Will that be a solution to the end of the terrorism? Will that eradicate terrorism? The very point is, let us focus on the issues which has to be done, on the methods, on the policies which can really eradicate the terrorism. I am being on street is not a question, Rahul. The question is why these fellows get fed the wrong information? Why these people are getting against the government? Why these people are against their own nation? Why these people are against their own religion?
Sir, can I ask a question?
Being a Muslim,
Junaidi
Muslim, I am getting irritated because of these fellows.
Okay, so one
these
second.
Fellows don't have the,
so one second. You say
that is exactly
how do we
what
know?
I said, but what are you doing about it? What am I doing about it?
Yeah, so one second, Shazia ma'am, 1 second. I just want to open this up. I have one little comment to make. Junaidi Saab, look, I know that you are upset because of this handful. But how do we know it's only a handful? This is my concern today.
That's what the intelligence, that's what the agencies have to do.
Sir, 1 second. Junaidi Saab, Junaidi Saab, if the majority of Muslims are not going to come out onto the streets and say that, you know, this Umar and all these Al-Falah module people, we disinherit them, we disown them, we despise them, we will all think that they have sympathy, that they enjoy some amount of latent support. Look at the number of people who show up.
On that
1 second, sir.
On that
Let me finish.
Anybody from the BJP or Hindu community condemn Nathuram Godse for killing
Sir, obviously, we all do.
Did anybody
we all do.
Condemn Anurag
Arre, sir,
Thakur,
has he
who
not
said
been... 1
Goliwala
second.
Salon ko?
1 minute.
Did anybody condemn?
1 second. Junaidi Saab.
Yogi Adityanath,
Junaidi
who said
Saab.
Shamshan or Kabristan
Junaidi Saab, all politicians from... 1 minute. Junaidi Saab, top level Hindu politicians from the AAP, from the Congress, from several other SP, RJD, everybody, even members from within the BJP distance themselves. These were Hindus. No, 1 second.
Muslim
where are you
government
doing?
is
What is Iltija Mufti saying? 1 second. Iltija Mufti. Okay, sir, don't shout. Sir, calm down. Junaidi Saab, 1 minute. Junaidi Saab. What is Iltija Mufti saying?
I have a problem with this attitude, Junaidi Saab. I have a big problem with the way you're conducting yourself right now. This is a great opportunity right now for you to drop the
I want to ask, Madam Advocate. 1 minute, Gio, 1 minute. 1 second, Shazia ma'am and Junaid. Junaid bhai, 1 minute. Junaidi bhai, 1 second. I just want to bring Zeba ma'am. 1 second, I want to bring in Zeba ma'am. Zeba ma'am, I have to ask you this question.
We all have
1
to
minute,
take
1 minute.
responsibility, Rahul.
Shazia ma'am, 1 second.
Why don't you ask this question of each one of us?
I want to bring in. I am asking. Now, Zeba ma'am, I have to ask you this question. It's a very important question. Look, there is a lady called Nupur Sharma. She said something. You may agree, you may think it's blasphemous, you may think it's bad, whatever. Thousands of people come out onto the streets and they say, Gustakhe Rasool ki ek hi saza, sartan se juda, sartan se juda. That lady today is living in her home. She barely comes out. On the odd occasion, she comes out. Now tell me, if you believe that she has hurt your sentiments, and this is where I have to ask, Zeba, I have to ask you this question, because if you believe that, okay, this person has upset us, said something not that we like, there is a penal code, you're an advocate, there is law, book her. Even the Supreme Court has not been very kind, as you know. So there is a process. You look at another man, a Booker Prize winning author, 50 years after a fatwa, his eye is knocked out of his skull. Whether you agree with him or you don't agree with him, there's a process, a legal process, file a case, bring him to justice under whatever laws, hate speech, this, that, the other. There is a law. There are ways of dealing with these constitutionally. Yet there are people out there who do this, and no one stands up and says, not in my name. Akhlaq is killed, very rightly so. It is good to come out and protest against Akhlaq's killing. Why should it go unnoticed? And those people who are trying to withdraw the cases against Akhlaq's killer should be identified. Not in my name is a good thing, but where is the not in my name gang now? Ye kahan hai? Ms. Zohara, I have to ask you this.
Yes, as a Muslim woman, as the Indian citizen, as a young citizen of this country, I am also angst that people are not coming out in masses and like condemning. And I do agree with all the panelists that they have said. It is also a worrisome problem that a person like me, and there are very handful of Muslim people that I have seen who are condemning or voicing out their opinion. But how far, like even I am frustrated that how far I should be, weaponizing my voice. That makes, I cannot take the burden of the entire community alone. I need more people. I need more people to come out in the street, come out, condemn. Condemnation is a duty. And as a citizen, as an Indian citizen, you should see what is happening. And you should come out in masses and for irrelevant things, you can come out in masses and support people. If you have to voice your opinion, if you don't agree to something, still come out. So even I am in a dilemma that what should be the next step? Why are people not coming out? Why are people in the victimhood mentality? And when you talked about Nupur Sharma too, even if you didn't like what she said, let the court take the action. And even if you didn't like it, people did come out in masses and did condemn her. So why, when there is something which is so huge, which is impacting our own nation, which is leading to our entire community being named as, that terrorism has a religion and Islam is it. So why can't you, at least if you don't agree to that, voice out? If you agree to that, then also you don't want to voice out. That is a very big problem. And
Very big problem. It's a problem of silence and silence. Well, 1 second, Junaid Saab. I want to bring in the PDP leader. 1 second, sir. You have dominated the show. Please listen. There are two sensible people who are telling you that you are actually.
Sir, I am not dominating.
1 second.
I am not dominating.
Sir,
my point is very clear. Nupur Sharma's scenario is something different.
No. Why is it different, sir? Isn't there a normal law? To prosecute, you're going to take out a fatwa and kill somebody.
Statement a national
No, 1 second. Viewers, this is a double statement. No, this is a double standard. This is where the double standard comes in. And this is problematic. This is problematic. I want to say something. 1 minute, Junaidi. Junaidi, 1 minute now. 1 minute, Junaidi. 1 minute.
This is problematic.
Junaidi, 1 minute. Now, viewers, there are many people who abuse the Hindu faith. They abuse Hindu gods. They have urinated on Hindu gods. Have Hindus come out and said, Gustakhe Ram ki ek hi saza, sartan se juda, sartan se juda. No, viewers, they have not. And this is where the issue is. Because silence now means endorsement. We have come to that stage. And Mr. Mir, that's why I'm asking you, Mr. Gupta is also here on the show. He's written a lot about this, entrenched silence. And there are people, there's Shazia ma'am, there is Ziba ma'am, they are saying that you are taking the wrong side. And I'm asking you, sir, why are you riding this tiger? Have you not seen what has happened in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria? वहाँ पर कौन सा RSS है? वहाँ पर कौन सा मोदी है? How has it happened that more Muslims are killing Muslims in those lands? Who is ordering them? Whose name are they doing it? Who is the... No, I'm asking you. What is the Al-Qaeda? In whose name is the Al-Qaeda? So I'm asking you, sir, अब तो आंखें खोल लीजिए and accept some responsibility. You can come out for Hamas. You can come out for Nasrallah. But you cannot come out against Mr.
Will you allow me to speak?
Nabi, Umar Nabi. No, I'm asking you. These are fundamental questions. Please answer them.
You're fine. You can ask these questions to Al-Qaeda, not me. Let me
Wow.
at the outset tell
Wow,
you
wow,
that
sir.
people
Wow,
of
wow,
Kashmir
wow, wow,
believe-
wow, wow. No, hang on. Why not? Why not?
People of Kashmir.
No, why not?
People of
Why can't I ask you about
Kashmir,
Lashkar-e-Toiba?
I myself,
About,
we
no, Hizbul
unequivocally
Mujahideen?
condemn
Why
every
can't I ask
form
you,
of
what does
terrorism.
the Hizbul Mujahideen
Every
mean?
form of terrorism
Listen,
we condemn.
don't sit
We
here
condemn
on this.
every form of
Don't sit here.
terrorism
If you
and we
did,
believe-
why did you take out? Then tell me,
believe-
should you
we
have
believe
taken out,
that
one minute.
anybody who is
Should
doing
you
any
then,
sort of
Mr. Mir,
suicide bombing
then should
and
you have taken out a
equalizing
jalous
that to
in
some sort
favor
martyrdom
of
is
Hassan
absolutely
Nasrallah?
wrong.
You condemn terrorism?
Would you-
Should you have
I'll tell
taken
you.
out a jalous?
See, you don't want to
in
listen.
favor of
Have you-
Burhan Wani? Should you have flown ISIS flags?
It
I'm
doesn't
asking you
matter.
these questions. It
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Now,
Listen.
viewers, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you're saying. I want
No,
to tell
Rahul,
you something.
I really
Listen,
want to say
you've
this.
called me
It's
on the
really
show
important
on
that
the
I do.
pretext
And I
that
want
you'll
you
be
to
keeping
please
quiet.
focus on this.
You will slow down
when
your
have Indian
fetish with
Muslims come out on the
communalism
streets?
and you will allow me to speak. And
So I-
whosoever
no,
here is spreading this communalism, I'm not
I
going
don't
to
know
listen
your
and
good name,
tolerate
sir,
that.
but
You have to
please,
listen to me.
if
You've
you-
called me on
where
the show
have
on the
Indian
pretext.
Muslims come
I
out
didn't
for-
come here. You
for
begged me to
anything
come
that
here.
has rankled
So I've
them,
come here. Now you
bothered
listen to
them
me.
and agitated
I'm just
them.
simply
Last
trying to
it
tell you
was
one
on the
simple
Waqf
thing,
Qanun,
that
which was actually
we
for poor
absolutely,
Muslims, which was
absolutely
against corruption,
unequivocally
which is also a
condemn
very... No,
any
sir, I
form
want
of
to ask you this
terrorism and
question. Before that, when did they come out and
suicide
protest?
bombing to martyrdom
When
is
did they come out?
absolutely
On
wrong.
the whole issue
Okay.
of
But
CAA.
what exactly has happened?
What
What
this is
exactly
important
has
that I say
happened?
this.
What exactly has
I
happened
think-
is
I think-
that
no, I think, sir,
this
you're being too
condemnation
clever by
has
half.
been met with
You're being too
profiling
clever
of
by half,
Kashmiris.
and you're doing the
It is
biggest
met
disservice.
with linking Muslims to terrorism, xenophobia against Kashmiris, and that's absolutely reprehensible. What you have not really done is you have not fixed responsibility, and you have not asked anybody where are the security, why was there security lapse. Shazia Albi speaks about, I
Again,
don't
you're
know,
running away
she
from the
speaks
problem.
about, she
You're
speaks
lying
about
to
these
yourself,
young
sir.
Kashmiri
Let's
Muslims,
stop lying to yourself.
educated,
Sir, you're lying
educated
to yourself.
Kashmiri Muslims.
So, Rahul, I have to come
They're
in.
No, no, one second, one second,
educated
Shazia,
Kashmiri
one
Muslims
second, one
being
second.
radicalized.
Same,
One
Well,
second,
I
one
have to
second.
ask you-
No,
I
one
want
second,
to
one
expose
second,
these
one
people.
second.
No,
Viewers,
listen,
viewers,
they
one
never
minute.
want to
Lower
take
the fader.
responsibility.
Lower the
You're
fader.
asking
One
what
minute.
has
Lower
he done?
everyone's fader. Just think about this logic that Mr. Mir is explaining here. Your fader is down, Mr. Mir. Think about this. They say that, oh, Hindutva terror is causing this backlash. Yes, yes, okay, Mr. Mir. Hindutva terror is causing this backlash. But they went, viewers, and signed up with the BJP to rule the state. The same party they accuse of saffronizing, communalizing this country. They tied up, viewers, with the BJP. There were terror attacks. Then, did Mehbooba Mufti resign? No, she was chief minister, sir. At that time, they were not talking about responsibility. Secondly, Mr. Mir says,
There was a time
Mr.
when
Mir
people
says,
actually
Mr. Mir
resigned.
says, we are against all forms of terrorism. And if I ask him right now, will you condemn Hassan Nasrallah, in whose name they took out these marches, he will not have an answer. So let me ask you, do you condemn Nasrallah and all those?
Will you call urban naxalism Hindu terrorism?
Urban naxalism, Hindu terrorism, what is the connection there?
Yes, you must call urban naxalism and Hindu terrorism.
There is-
because
there is
everybody
left
that
and
there
right
is
extremism.
I
is
asked him a
Hindu.
simple
So,
question.
LW.
One minute.
So you basically
I
just
asked a
call
simple
LW.
question. No, 1 second. I asked a very simple question. You are against all forms of terrorism. He said all forms. So I said, condemn Nasrallah and look at his response. You see, viewers, therefore, many people will suspect a large number of this element. And why is he doing it, viewers? Because the Supreme Court, Mr. Gupta, has allowed for elections in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So there is now competitive politics. And who are they appealing to? The radical street. Can you believe it? This is a real problem.
Good evening, Rahul. I have patiently heard everyone for the last 25 minutes, so I'll only request not to be interrupted. Let's get a simple thing out of the way to begin with. The victims are the ones who are dead, the ones who are injured, and the ones who have left behind innocent families. Those are the victims. The victims are not those who feel they're being villainized by the state. The victims are not those who are under investigation because the country needs to be kept safe. Point number one. Let's be very clear about who the victim is, because every time a terror attack happens, often the victim is somehow the ecosystem that feels villainized and not the people who are dead, not their families who are grieving. Point number two. To everyone on this panel, no one cares about the interpretation of your religious text, how you interpret it, how righteous you are, how spiritual you are. The ones committing these heinous acts have their own interpretation, and that is what they go with every time they commit a terror attack. Now,
and no one cares about your expert opinion because it's a lopsided opinion.
But the fact of the matter is, they are not going for your interpretation. They are not going for the right interpretation also. They're going for their own interpretation, and that needs to be called out. Number three, now someone made a very interesting point here that I cannot take the burden of the entire community. She's right. Zeba here is absolutely correct. But I'll tell you what she can take the burden of. She and the members of a community can take the burden of their vote. Every time a terror attack happens, a political party stands up, regional or national, and says, oh, look, because there is Hindutva terror, this happened. Oh, because these kids were misguided, this happened. Oh, because they were sons of a poor headmaster, this happened. There has been a consistent attempt to whitewash terror and radicalization ecosystem. This is what the community needs to call out today, and call out the political parties as well. Because please remember, Kashmiris, like the rest of Indians, are not the victims of villainization by the state. They are victims of potential terror attacks. And a message also for the parties, Rahul, I want to ask them, will they now...
No fader is down, sir. We can hear you. We choose to ignore you because you are not talking on the point. Yes.
Rahul, and one question for the political parties who tend to politicize every single terror attack.
You don't want to listen to the fact. Every Kashmiri came out and condemned, absolutely condemned the Pahalgam attack.
He's going to speak. You see, viewers, he's going to speak over, he's going to speak over everybody. These people are only interested. You said, sir, I'll ask you a simple question, Mr. Mir, and I'm moving on. If you can answer it, answer it. If you can't, you can take a leave and say a free pass. Let me ask you. You said that you condemn all terror, right, in all its forms. So I'm asking you, do you condemn those who took out rallies for Burhan Wani and for Hassan Nasrallah? Yes or no? Simple.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. But I also condemn people who killed Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi.
Now, viewers, let me tell you, his own boss, Mehbooba Mufti and her party called Burhan Wani a son of the soil. A son of the soil.
I also condemn.
They never spoke up. They never spoke up when Burhan Wani's when Burhan Wani's procession was passing and thousands of Muslims attended them as if he was some hero. And what was who was he serving? Viewers, Jaish-e-Mohammed. In whose name does the Jaish-e-Mohammed fight? I leave it to you, viewers, to decide.
Who are you serving? Who are you serving?
I'm serving my country, sir. I'm serving a unified India. I'm serving a secular India. If you don't like it, I know you don't like it. I know it hurts you. But I support a unified secular India, and I know it hurts you. I leave it at this. I leave it at this. Let's move on, viewers. Viewers, there is a big story breaking. They taunted Prime Minister Modi, called him Surrender Narendra. But it's Modi who is having the last laugh. I'm flipping now to politics. Your channel has learnt exclusively that the India bloc is set to disband. Its leaders will never share the stage again. They will never stand like that again, viewers. At least not as an alliance. It's not Modi, but it's the alliance that has surrendered to the Modi wave. Here's what we know. And this story was reported by Pallavi Ghosh just about 4 or 5 hours back. The Bihar debacle has broken the back of the India bloc. Allies have re-evaluated the alliance with Congress, refused to endorse Raga's vote chori agenda. Isolated Congress has read the writing on the wall and it admits that allies are wary of forging an understanding with it. The Congress has been the first to face the isolation, and it has resigned itself to its fate. What we can tell you is that Congress sources have been telling Pallavi Ghosh that there is now no need for an alliance at the national level. Gandhis, in fact, are in support of the fact that there should now no longer be the need for an India bloc. State level deals are being worked out as per need, not because of political conviction anymore. The party is going to be fighting maximum upcoming polls alone. No alliance partners, no deal with AAP in Delhi or with TMC in Bengal, party to contest even the Maha local elections alone. And even with the DMK, they may not, if they don't think it's working out for them. The DMK itself has reservations because Mr. Gandhi reached out to the TVK chief, Mr. Vijay. And that has upset Stalin. So all bets are off. And for all the claims of revival, resurgence and a fight back, the electoral ledger tells a starker story. Since its grand formation in July 2023, the alliance has marched through state after state, mostly to defeat. From Andhra Pradesh to Orissa, from Haryana to Maharashtra, the India bloc has struggled to convert noise into numbers. 11 losses, and we can pull out those graphics and we can put them. 11 losses, viewers, and just 3 wins since the India alliance came together. It even lost, viewers, despite opposition unity of an unprecedented level, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. You can see the number of elections it has lost. Even in regions where anti-incumbency should have offered a tailwind, the bloc has stumbled, collapsed. Fragmentation, leadership tussles, confused messaging, and above all, a shrinking appeal for the glue of the bloc, the Congress, have turned what was once pitched as a formidable national alternative into an also-ran. And I want to open this up first. Let's go across to our guest. Pallavi Ghosh is here with us. Pallavi Ghosh, this is a very big story that you have broken because it completely talks of a tectonic shift in Indian politics as we have known it for the last 2 years. How has this come about?
I think this was waiting to happen, frankly speaking, Rahul, because if you look at the last couple of months, they have not been holding any meeting. The last meeting they held was just before the monsoon session, but that was only on the SIR issue. They used to make it a habit of holding a meeting almost every month to chalk out their strategy. That has not happened in the last 1 year almost. And I think it was the writing on the wall. Frankly speaking, the Congress party is not doing anyone a favor. They've just understood this, that they are really left with no choice. Look at the important state elections coming up in 26 and 27. 26, of course, is Bengal. Mamata Banerjee is very, very open about the fact, Rahul, that she just doesn't like Rahul Gandhi. She prefers to work with Sonia Gandhi. There are emotional reasons also attached, but she doesn't like to work with Rahul Gandhi, and she said it many times on record at press conferences. So Bengal, no question of the Congress party, they certainly will be a liability. The one man who perhaps could stand up to Mamata Banerjee, the Congress got rid of that person in the hope that Mamata would be won over. That also hasn't happened. Look at Tamil Nadu. Now, DMK has been a steadfast ally of the Congress, but over there, the Congress is messing it up by reaching out to TVK Vijay, who is enemy number 1 at this point of time for MK Stalin. So there you're messing around with what could have been one of your staunchest loyal partners. Kerala. Well, in Kerala, the left is the political opponent, even though they are the friends as far as West Bengal is concerned. Assam is possibly one state where the Congress is on its own. What has been happening consistently is that wherever the Congress has fought an election with the ally partner, they've ended up, rather I would say Rahul Gandhi has ended up making a statement which has made it very embarrassing. I mean, I can never ever forget the Veer Savarkar statement of Rahul Gandhi. You know, in Maharashtra-based parties like the NCP, the Shiv Sena, Veer Savarkar is someone you just cannot criticize. This was conveyed to Sonia Gandhi by both Mr. Sharad Pawar as well as by Uddhav Thackeray. So how long are they going to carry on the baggage of the Congress party? I think the one savvy thing possibly the Congress has done is to see the writing on the wall, and before the plug is pulled off them, they've decided to say, fine, we are going to go Akla Cholore, but where really can they go it on their own? The only state where they can put up a somewhat of a fight is Assam, which is not saying much.
Not saying much. That's a very important point. So, Nikhil Jain, it's not just the voter, but also the allies that have dumped Rahul and by association the Congress and his message.
Rahul in the past.
Rahul, in the past few months, we've heard a lot of news from sources. I don't know, with all due respect to Ms. Ghosh, I don't know who her sources are. I was actually with quite a lot of senior people from the Congress today. I did not hear anything like this, but Ms. Ghosh has, so very, very congratulations to her.
One second, Nikhil Jain. Nikhil Jain. One second. Just hold your thoughts. Yesterday, I was speaking with a very influential member of the Samajwadi Party. And let me tell you that the Congress Party has asked for a huge number of seats. And in a few days in Sefai, the Samajwadi Party is meeting and they're going to tell the Congress that not more than 30 seats, take it or leave it. This was told to me, I didn't believe it. I don't even want to tell you the number they have asked for. And even the Samajwadi Party is going to give you the boot. Take it from me in writing. And you can keep calling into question people's journalism, you can call into question their biases or not biases or their interpretations. You're not reading the writing on the wall. Even Shashi Tharoor is standing up and praising the Prime Minister today when he's critical of the Congress Party. He's sitting in the front row, he's tweeting and he's saying the Prime Minister is making a huge point. When are you going to take your head out of the sand, sir? Nikhil ji.
Dr. Tharoor is an individual who's always had his own independent voice.
He's always had his own independent. But what is his voice telling you? What did A.K. Antony's voice tell you? Did you dust off that report?
Rahul, that shows how the Congress Party isn't the one that moves with an authoritarian approach. That is a party which allows its members to have different approaches from.
But I'll tell you what is authoritarianism. No, one second. Authoritarianism is also the following: that a person who is making sense to you, you undo them. You go out there and you say that they are talking pettily. You go out there and you character assassinate them like Supriya Srinath has done, viewers, in her tweet today. So you can shoot the messenger. You don't have to kill the messenger. You can shoot the messenger. You can go out there and you can damage the reputation of the messenger. That is also a form of authoritarianism, viewers. Authoritarianism doesn't mean that you sack somebody. I'm only meaning it metaphorically, Mr. Jain. I hope you understand the English language. What I mean is that you can character assassinate the messenger, make his therefore message.
I'm not character assainating any messenger, any journalist.
That's fine.
I'm making a simple point.
It's okay. I'm asking you, why isn't Mamata Banerjee, why aren't the others, why are they asking you to make way at the top?
Has Mamata Banerjee asked that? Has Akhilesh Yadav asked that?
Or her party members, senior MPs, 3 of them have got up. Has Mamata Banerjee told them not to? No.
Rahul, individuals in any party would want their leader
I think you guys are beyond redemption. Beyond redemption. Yes. One second. Pallavi Ghosh, please come in on that point. What is the point that you are making? One second.
Kunal Ghosh has said it officially.
Yes. Kunal
Ghosh, Kalyan Banerjee has said it officially inside the parliament. Yeah, they are the official voices of the Trinamool Congress. I don't know how you can say this.
Ms. Ghosh, they're not the leaders of the Trinamool Congress.
They are the leaders.
They are the MPs, sir.
They are the leaders.
Okay, let's move on. One second. Tushar Gupta, what do you make of this? What do you make of this? These guys... No, 1 second.
I have a question for Pallavi, though.
May I?
Yeah, please, Tushar. Yeah, go ahead.
See, no one wants to carry Rahul Gandhi. Let's look at the elections coming up. In West Bengal, Congress contested 91 seats last time. They did not win a single one. In Tamil Nadu, their vote share is less than 5%. In Uttar Pradesh, their vote share last time was 2%. Who wants to carry Rahul Gandhi really? His campaign of vote chori, DMK will not agree with it. And they probably might win Tamil Nadu next year. Mamata Banerjee might not agree with it. And she starts as the favorite for the West Bengal election. Who will buy Rahul Gandhi's campaign? Because all these stories he tells about EVM hacking, vote chori, Chaukidar chor hai, Rafale and whatnot, all these stories are meant to humor him and retain his position within his own party, not even within the alliance. You look at Uttarakhand, you look at Goa. Is the Congress anywhere in picture? Absolutely not. In Punjab, Rahul Gandhi snatched defeat from the jaws of victory in 2022 when he tried to play power politics between Captain Amrinder Singh, Navjot Singh Sidhu and Charanjit Singh Channi. So tell me, Rahul, what is the credibility of the silver spoon scion of the Gandhi family?
Well, I mean,
his campaigns
this
have
is a
fallen
question
flat. All
that
his
this is a
campaigns.
question that I think is better answered by the TMC.
Tushar,
Yes, Mr. Ilmi, Miss Ilmi, go ahead. Miss Ilmi, go ahead.
Yeah, so, so while Tushar makes sense, but my question is for Pallavi. Pallavi is hardly surprising, isn't it? Rahul Gandhi would be the proverbial albatross around anybody's neck. West Bengal is around the corner. Surely they would not want any sharing of seats whatsoever, and it was never in question. Punjab, we know that it is Congress and AAP which will be face to face. So it doesn't really make sense. As for the DMK Congress situation or partnership or whatever's worth, we know that there's not too much riding on that. So it's just realpolitik. They got together when they thought they could make a difference. They realized they don't.
What is the reason? What is the reason that the opposition has suddenly realized that they either must push for a change at the top of the India alliance, that is Mamata Banerjee or even Akhilesh Yadav, even his party MPs and members have been saying, please bring Akhilesh forward, bring Mamata forward, or even Stalin, and not Rahul Gandhi. What is this one or two things that is making them do this?
See, I'll give you this example of Bihar, okay? I'll give you the example of Bihar. The Congress workers were being, I don't know what to say. The fact is, I'll give you this very quick example. The moment the counting began, and it was very, very clear that the Congress was going to be completely routed in the state in charge, Krishna Alavaru, just packed up his bags and left. There is just no one to talk to the Congress workers. I remember Mamata Banerjee, after she lost from Nandigram, she went back to Nandigram to ask the people that why did I lose from here? Why are you angry with me? Rahul Gandhi went back to Amethi after losing only once. Smriti Irani has gone back 3 or 4 times. Even today, when I speak to someone like a Mumtaz Patel and many other leaders, they are saying you don't abandon your workers in defeat. You go back to the workers and tell them, okay, we lost, but we are with you. But in every state where the Congress loses, they give up on that state completely. It's happened the same way in Odisha. It's going to happen eventually in Telangana, in Karnataka. Look at other states, Uttar Pradesh, they've just given up. You just don't give up a fight. Himachal, they are in power. The point is that you don't give, Andhra Pradesh, where are they? See, so you don't give up on the state where you lose out one, because politics is about winning and losing. But also very quickly, Siddaramaiah met Rahul Gandhi. He comes out and makes this statement that I spoke to Rahul Gandhi about the Bihar results. Rahul tells me he's not too worried about what happened in Bihar. Now, what does that sound like to a Bihar worker?
There you go.
When I left Patna to come to Delhi, I met a couple of workers there. They were crying. They said, "Humse baat karne wala koi hai nahi."
Well,
the same Delhi leaders were coming there and parking themselves at a 5-star hotel. Why are they not coming out?
It is this year, the same Siddaramaiah came to the Union capital to meet Rahul Gandhi and asked him who can be in his cabinet. And Rahul Gandhi says, we'll consult, Kharge and myself will consult and we'll let you know. Go back to your state, do whatever you have to. If tomorrow Siddaramaiah loses the election, viewers, you tell me, since the decisions are being taken somewhere else, will those people who took the decisions which contributed to the loss be punished? No, viewers. It will be Siddaramaiah who will be punished. So this is why someone was using the phrase silver spoon sign. I need to move on. I really have another
10 seconds,
2 guests. No, very important
seconds.
guests. Please, sir. There's no point. Look, you take your head out of the sand. We'll talk about it. Viewers, very important. Amid the roar of jet engines and the buzz of innovation, India's Tejas fighter jet carved through the skies with precision, power and breathtaking agility at the Dubai Air Show, quickly becoming one of the most talked about attractions. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or HAL, captured global attention with its impressive scale model of the Tejas Mk2 light combat aircraft, or the LCA, which drew widespread praise as the event opened to thousands of visitors. And we have with us Group Captain Anant Mathur, former test pilot of the IAF, and Air Vice Marshal Sean Bell, former fighter pilot of the Royal Air Force, with us. Let's evaluate this particular aircraft that seems to be wowing the world. Let me begin with you, Group Captain Mathur. Why suddenly has the Tejas won applause? What did it do in these 2 or 5 minutes that people thought it was capable of doing a lot more?
Good evening, Rahul. Tejas has always been drawing attention by people, those who are in the aviation industry for quite some time now. And we were very close to signing a few deals with different air forces of the world. But please understand, fighter aircraft is sold not just because it is good, it is also because of the stature of the country which is supporting that fighter aircraft. Now, as we become stronger and our instruments of power like diplomacy, information warfare, military and economic growth becomes stronger day by day, we will find those who were not allowed to buy Tejas suddenly get interested in Tejas, because let me tell you, it is an amazing aircraft. It is a light combat aircraft which ticks all the boxes which are required by certain air forces. Every time you don't need to buy a Rolls Royce. You can make do with a lethal, small, value for money product which surpasses all the other class aircraft in its class itself. Okay. And that is why Tejas becomes more and more important. It has shown its maturity over the years in India, having flown in by the Indian Air Force and taken part in different exercises and performed creditably. And that is why Tejas becomes an important aircraft.
There are issues with its rollout. We'll come to that. But I want to ask the Air Vice Marshal, Sean Bell. Air Vice Marshal Bell, how do you compare this particular aircraft in its own class?
Yes, hello, Rahul. It's a great question. It's competing with lots of other aircraft, as your group captain said. You know, it's not trying to be the best in the world. It doesn't have to be. It has to be able to satisfy lots of other customers. It is a light combat aircraft. It's a Gen 4, Gen 5. The latest aircraft are all Gen 5. Single engine, supersonic. It's a very capable aircraft. But I think one of the things that air shows are very good about is showing aircraft making a lot of noise, being very maneuverable, doing lots of very tight aerobatic maneuvers. But modern warfare is not really about that. Films like Top Gun have showcased, you know, you do a knife fight in a phone box, we used to call it. But these days, modern combat is done at ranges of over 100 miles away, where you use stealth, you get your enemy aircraft never sees you, and you've got weapons in the air long before you get anywhere near that fight. So I do think it's not trying to be a competitor to things like the F-35. What it is trying to do is carve a niche, and it does appear, certainly at the moment, to be very capable. But how good is the radar? How good are the defensive aids? How good are all of the other elements that make up a modern fighter jet? You can't see that in the air show. That, I'm afraid, I don't have an insight into.
A quick comment on that aspect of it, Group Captain Mathur.
So the aircraft does have, as per open source intelligence that I would like to cover here, AESA radar, which allows multiple target tracking. It has the relevant missiles, and of course, as India grows its homegrown missiles and also increases the range of these missiles, we are there already. We have the BVR capability on the Tejas today. We have the self-defense suit, which is including the self-projecting, SPJ, which jams all the radiations which are coming onto the aircraft per se. Also has the chaff and flare dispensers. It also has all the infrared pods which will allow you to fire the laser guided bombs and other bombs. Various other offensive and defensive missiles have already been integrated. Where we are going forward is where we are wanting from the Indian Air Force perspective, is the speed at which we get the aircraft in our arsenal. And that is the only issue lagging. Let's also understand one thing. Even the F-35 is going through an upgrade today. So it's not that an aircraft that is bought is always the finished product. And when you are making your own aircraft, there is a continuous level of improvement in the aircraft. We have the Tejas Mark 1, we have the Tejas Mark 2 coming surely in the next couple of years, already planned to be there in our country by the next year end. And then we are going to have continuous upgrades on this aircraft. But definitely we have a winner on our hands in terms of the aircraft's superior capabilities, thrust to weight ratio. And India is very good in integrating the aspects which the Air Marshal is bringing out. That is integrating weapons, integrating software-enabled systems in the aircraft. And that is our strength, actually.
So let me bring in the Air Marshal once again. Air Marshal Bell, how does this compare to a JF-17, for instance? Give us the outsider's perspective.
Well, yeah, the danger is that we're on sort of an open line, and the danger is there's what you see, and I think the group captain is absolutely right. It's what you see, but it's also what you don't see. It's the E-scan radar, for example, of India is by all accounts a very good radar. The other thing that you get with Indian aircraft, as well as the F-35, a bit like your mobile phone, nearly every evening you're having to upgrade it with new software. Well, new aircraft now, they're constantly being upgraded, constantly uprated to meet the growing threats. And as a result of that, any modern aircraft will inevitably be focused at having a battle-winning capability over some of its immediate threats. The one thing that this light combat aircraft doesn't have is the stealth capability, but you have to remember that you only need stealth against certain adversaries. And sometimes some of the springs that go onto a stealth aeroplane become very expensive, very difficult to maintain. And that's why I think India probably is on a winner with this light combat aircraft.
Well, viewers, you've heard two perspectives, one from the inside and one view from the outside. I leave it at this. Thank you for watching. Palki Sharma up next with The Vantage. Don't go away.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
All right, of course, on CNN News 18, we are tracking Anmol Bishnoi's return. He is the wanted gangster who will arrive at the IGI airport. He's expected to arrive at around 10 a.m. and from there, as we were speaking to Anima earlier as well, expected to straight away be taken to court. We are tracking his return. We're tracking all sorts of movements that are going to be happening, transfers and interrogations that are to follow as well. For more on this, we have Anshul live with us. Anshul, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, this is what we are hearing right now, that he's been removed from the United States. He's expected to arrive at IGI at around in about 45 minutes from now. What can you tell us?
Well, yes, Anmol Bishnoi, along with other illegal immigrants in the United States, have been deported from the United States, and it is expected that the flight will land over here in India at approximately 10 a.m. Then the immigration processes will happen, and by 11 a.m. it is expected that the NIA will actually go ahead and formally arrest him. Post that, he will be taken to a hospital where the initial medical checkup or the medical legal certificate would be made, and then eventually he will be produced in front of the Patiala House Court, where the NIA will seek further custody of Anmol Bishnoi, because remember, there are several cases that are being investigated against Anmol Bishnoi. One of the cases that is being investigated is by the NIA of the larger terror nexus that had come up, and how these gangsters who were operating from across the border were actually involved in carrying out several criminal activities out here, specifically in North India and also in parts of Mumbai. But there is definitely a competition between agencies at this point in time, because all of these agencies want to go ahead and interrogate Anmol Bishnoi, be it the Punjab police, be it the Delhi police, be it the Rajasthan police, or for that matter Mumbai police as well, whereas central agencies such as the NIA are all waiting hands-on to just get access to Anmol Bishnoi, because he is one of the key links that needs to be interrogated before any sort of a complete investigation could happen. He has been involved in ordering the killing of Sidhu Moosewala. He has been involved in demanding ransom from various businessmen out here in the national capital. He has also been involved in the killing of Baba Siddiqui and the shooting that happened outside the residence of Salman Khan as well. So definitely there are several cases that are being investigated by multiple agencies, and as soon as Anmol Bishnoi will land over here, definitely there is going to be this race amongst agencies to get his custody and to interrogate him further. But definitely as good luck that he is being deported from the United States and he is being handed over back to India. Definitely a lot of investigations are going to be done, and definitely a lot of cases are going to be solved once Anmol Bishnoi lands over here in the national capital within the next few minutes.
Right. Arunima, Anshul has mentioned a few pertinent points here. Of course, we're going to talk about the interstate transfers and interrogations as well, but we are going to see a focus on specific cases, of course, Baba Siddiqui, Sidhu Moosewala, Salman Khan firing as well. However, there, of course, will be a concerted effort to map out this entire network and its finances as well.
So there is a gangsters FIR that NIA was probing, in which Anmol Bishnoi, Lawrence Bishnoi, all their other associates have been named. So the entire gangster terror network in Punjab has been investigated by the National Investigation Agency. The charge sheet has been filed in this case, which dates back to 2022. And Anmol Bishnoi's custody, once taken by NIA, will focus on this particular FIR, this particular investigation itself. If you go by the other big man who was brought into NIA's custody from the United States, accused of terrorism, accused of a high-profile case like 2611, Tawahur Rana. So in that case also, Mumbai police wanted to question Tawahur Rana, and it was given a chance to question Tawahur Rana while he was still broadly in NIA's custody. So a similar pattern could be followed here as well. Well, NIA keeps the broad custody of Anmol Bishnoi, traveling with him from one part of the country to the other. One doesn't really know how it will work out security-wise, because these are high-profile, high-target gangsters. There are intra-gang rivalries at work as well. Goldie Brar is a player in Punjab, along with the Bishnois, who originally their support base is Rajasthan. So one will have to really see how the considerations are kept in mind. But the security agencies are definitely upbeat that Anmol Bishnoi's custody for NIA will unravel who are the other players in this. Already NIA has managed to carry out searches across Delhi NCR, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, to hunt out everyone who's supporting the Bishnois, supporting the Goldie Brar gang, essentially supporting this gangster terror network. But getting Anmol Bishnoi into custody will unravel whatever loose ends are still there as far as investigation goes.
All right. Arunima and Anshul, thank you so much for joining us for all this information. Right now, we're of course going to be tracking all the developments closely.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
All right, of course, on CNN News 18, we are tracking Anmol Bishnoi's return. He is the wanted gangster who will arrive at the IGI airport. He's expected to arrive at around 10 a.m. and from there, as we were speaking to Arunima earlier as well, expected to straight away be taken to court. We are tracking his return. We're tracking all sorts of movements that are going to be happening, transfers and interrogations that are to follow as well. For more on this, we have Anshul live with us. Anshul, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, this is what we are hearing right now, that he's been removed from the United States. He's expected to arrive at IGI at around in about 45 minutes from now. What can you tell us?
Fenesta, India's #1 windows and doors brand.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma.